got to very terrible acute atopy, featuring new Vileplume from Lost Origin with the Allergy Storm attack doing 90 base damage for 1 grass and 2 colorless, plus a special effect of preventing your opponent from playing a supporter card on their next turn if you flip a heads with this attack, or preventing them from playing an item if you flip a tails. We also have our Snorlax to do Thumping Snore for big damage with Choice Belt, and also our Farfetch'd to collect the knockout with League Lash. For the draw spot, we're playing 3 Bibarels, 1 Snorlax with 𝘿𝙚𝙠, 1 Marnie, and 1 Bruno. To satisfy the attack cost, we're playing 2 Raihans and 4 Twin Energies. We also have our regular items for the setup, 1 Escape Rope, 1 Switch, and 1 Scoop Up Net for the Switch, 1 Pal Pad, 2 Rod, 1 Boss, and 4 basic Grass Energy. So that's all for the deck list. Now let's go for some gameplay! Okay, let's go for our first game versus Charizard V-Star. They got double Charizard actually, the VMAX and the V-Star. They got Moltres with Entei V as well. So a full Fire Magma Basin deck. And if they need so much energies, we actually get to delay them early game if we can do our Elegy Storm fast. If we can attack with Vileplume on our second turn with a Rare Candy, that would be grand. And we can actually trap them from using their item cards, their supporter cards, to set up their bench to get enough energies into the game to evolve. So if they can't play items, they can't play Incense, they can't play Quick Ball, they can't play, you know, those Pokemon searches. If they can't play supporter cards, they can't draw cards fast enough to basically get their Basin, to get their Fire Energies. So either way, we are still delaying the game by using our Elegy Storm to basically disrupt our opponent from playing those trainer cards. It is quite a terrible move for a stage 2, I would say, because it is 3 energy attack costs and you are flipping a coin instead of having a sure effect of preventing your opponent from playing a trainer card. You only get to prevent them from playing either supporter or item, which is pretty cool. I would say, like, hands down pretty cool, like first ever card to have that sort of effect. But then, you know, it's just like too heavy. It's a stage 2 card with 3 energies. If it's 1 grass, 1 colorless, I would be so down for it though, because it's like, you know, if you do less damage, 70, I don't mind if it's less damage, 70 damage, who cares? At least you get to play that attack fast. If you get to use that attack fast, you can trap your opponent with Rare Candies early game. But just because you need 3 energies, just because it needs all 3 energies with your twin, it's so much more difficult to pull off Elegy Storm on your second turn. Doing it on your second turn though is crucial, and we actually got our twin energy in the game. No grass though, so I don't think we can do it. We're just gonna 𝘿𝙚𝙠 again, because they did a boss to trap our Oddish in the active. We're gonna charge up the Oddish, because I don't see any V cards in play yet, so I don't think we need to worry about Snorlax just yet. Thumping Snore can do a lot of damage, so make sure you don't ignore that card. Make sure you get enough energies onto it so they can do enough damage to collect the knockout, because 1 Choice Belt is all it takes to kill a V-Star. 1 Choice Belt on your Vileplume or your Snorlax or even your Farfetch'd. Well, if you're playing a Farfetch'd though, you need 2 Choice Belt. You need a Choice Belt on both the Vileplume and the Farfetch'd, because that would give you a total of 290 damage, perfectly killing a V-Star without a big charm. 120 with Elegy Storm and 140 plus 30 with your League Lash, which is exactly enough, well, 10 damage more to kill off a V-Star. The highest HP V-Star actually. So Charizard has 280 HP, but thanks to Magma Basin, they are down to 260, unless if they do Big Charm, Heat Energy, they can actually boost their HP by even more. So we got stuck with VIP passes. That's why eventually the final upgrade of the list, we have 0 VIP. Haha, fuck that VIP. I hate that card so much right now, because every fucking game, I don't know why, I think the system knows I love playing this card, so they are trying to screw me over. They know that I'm very familiar with VIP pods and I love playing it in all of my decks, and they just keep on giving me no VIPs on the first turn. I'm so frustrated with this game. So now I'm not gonna play VIPs anymore. I'm never gonna play VIPs ever again, unless if I absolutely have to. So now we have 4 level balls in the deck, 4 level balls and 4 quick balls. If you have it in your hand late game after the first turn, you can still play it. to search for nothing, at least you get to empty your hand to do Gormandize to draw more cards. That's gonna help you a lot in the game. So right now we are stuck, completely stuck thanks to that VIP pass. No Ultra Ball, no Quick Ball, nothing to discard. Which is just ugly, really, really ugly. We just need one grass and a switch though. We just wasted our switch for, you know, to counter the boss. They may just retreat and attack our Snorlax. If they kill off the Snorlax, we got our Vileplume to do 120 damage on the Entei and then collect the knockout with our Farfetch'd. But they chose to attack with the Moltres. So now we're gonna do 90 damage to the Moltres, which is not enough to do the knockout, unfortunately. Look how terrible Vileplume is. I'm quite sad, honestly. 3 energies for 90 is terrible. With that cool effect, I get it, but come on. It's not even enough to kill a Moltres. It's just horrible. Not even enough to kill a Cramorant, a Miltank. What is going on here, Pokemon? 3 energies for 110, 100 at least. 100 at least, come on. Okay, we're gonna focus on evolving because that's probably the biggest challenge if you're playing a stage 2 deck. Make sure you evolve as many copies as you can, get as many into the game of your stage 2 Pokemon, stage 2 attackers if you are using them as your main attacker. Okay, we're gonna play our Path to the Peak. A little too late to block their abilities because they already played their Crobat Eldegoss. I don't think they used the Eldegoss for the effect though. I think they just benched it. So we killed off the Moltres because they chose not to retreat for some reason. At least we got one prize, which isn't really doing much because they're playing V cards. They may just not bench another one prize and force us to knock out another 3 V Pokemons for the win. If they do that though, we got a boss to kill the Crobat with Thumping Snore, so Snorlax can kill stuff with one hit. Snorlax is very powerful. So to counter the weak ass damage of your Elegy Storm, we have our Snorlax to basically boost, give this deck a little bit of a booster shot, so that it actually has that, you know, that power, that damage boost, enough damage in the game to help you do knockouts, collecting prizes for the win. Because Elegy Storm as a control deck is really, really difficult. I tried it with Crushing Hammer, I tried it with Yellhorn and Tropius. It just doesn't work. I tried it with so many things. Elegy Storm is terrible. As a control deck, it just doesn't work because it's way too... It's a wild card, right? It's way too risky. You have no idea whether your opponent is gonna be able to play an item or supporter on the next turn. If you lock them from playing supporter cards, they can still use item to basically, you know, get through that turn. And then on the next turn, what are you gonna do? If they do a knockout as well on the same turn, what's gonna happen? I guess you could do 4 Crushing Hammers, but I don't really see the value in that because you're flipping coins and you don't get to retrieve them unless if you're doing Silene. But Silene with, you know, with Silene, Pal Pad, Team Yell's Cheer, I suppose could work with your Vileplume deck. I don't know, but it just feels a bit, it feels a bit of a repeat deck. I don't really want to do a repeat deck, and also it's kind of boring. So we're trying to do knockouts for this deck. We're trying to draw prizes for the win, while doing the special effect. So that effect is basically a bonus that we're trying to use to force them to decide what supporter card to play. Because if they don't use the supporter right now, on the next turn they may not be able to play supporter again. So they should be using whatever trainer cards that they can this turn, and that actually forces them to make bad decisions. That's what we want to do with Vileplume. Force our opponent to make bad decisions. Because if they discard too many of their items, if they think they don't need them, if they think that, you know, we're gonna lock their item on the next turn. They may discard too many of their item with their research or, you know, Zinnia or stuff like that, and end up with not enough items on the next turn to get by, to search for the right cards to, you know, to collect the knockout, to draw enough prizes for the win, to speed their game. And that actually slows them down by a lot, and we may even win the game by forcing them to do, you know, multiple bad decisions in a row. So we killed an Entei. We actually did... Oh, we didn't do a boss. We're gonna do a boss on the next turn, because you'll see that they can't actually evolve the Charizard. They played a research on one of the last turns and discarded a lot of copies of their evolutions. So Charizard VMAX and V-Stars are in the discard pile. Now, I don't think they have any copies in their hand or inside the deck. Or maybe it's like at the bottom of the deck because they discarded quite a lot. I saw a lot of copies just now in the discard pile. So going to sleep is not a good thing because you're flipping 2 coins for the sleep condition. And Snorlax may just not ever wake up. So that's why we need switch cards for this deck. Scoop Up Net is not really that good though, because it does empty up a spot for you to bench another Pokemon if you are doing Gormandize, but it doesn't actually work with your Thumping Snore, because if you scoop it up, you can't actually attack on your next turn. We have Escape Rope and Switch for, you know, to recover the special condition, but that's all we have. Raihan to basically charge up our next Oddish Vileplume. So if they kill the Snorlax this turn, I'm not sure what to do, honestly. There we go. They got 1 VMAX and 1 V-Star discarded. And I'm pretty sure they are only playing 1 VMAX and 2 V-Star. I don't think they have that many evolutions, or maybe like 2 VMAX and 2 V-Stars. If they evolve into the VMAX though, they can't actually attack because VMAX needs 5 energies. Unless if they have a double turbo, I guess. If they do double turbo, they can still knock out anything. So they didn't evolve, and we were just, you know, we're taking a huge risk here, but we did it. We played our boss to kill the Entei, because Entei is the one that can actually, you know, do a lot of damage. They can still do Combustion Wing for the knockout. So 4 energies on the Charizard can actually kill off the Snorlax on the next turn. But we have 1 remaining prize though. On the next turn, we just need to play Farfetch'd, you know, Vileplume Farfetch'd to win the game. It would be quite difficult though. If we kill off the Charizard right now, I think it would be much safer. I'm not sure honestly, because they may not have any more energies inside the deck. If they don't have a switch card, we actually played a Pal Pad for Raihan, which is pretty good. So Raihan is going to help us get our next Vileplume, and also our, you know, possibly draw more cards with Bibarel. So Raihan for Ultra Ball helps you get your Vileplume into your hand, and then maybe Bibarel can actually draw out the Rare Candy with the Twin Energy, which is actually quite a lot to be drawing. But if you top deck something good, you can actually play Raihan to do Ultra Ball, because Ultra Ball is discarding, allowing you to draw more cards with Bibarel. That means it gives you a higher chance of getting your special energy. So they conceded before even attacking with the Charizard, because I don't think they have any more energies in the deck. So there we go. Vileplume is forcing them to make the wrong move. Vileplume means you have to decide right now whether to play your supporter cards or not. If you can't play any items, and if you don't play a supporter this turn, what's gonna happen? Are you gonna be able to survive your next turn? Are you gonna be able to have enough cards on the next turn to attack, to collect prizes? So that's why Vileplume is so powerful. I mean, it's not really that strong damage sense, but you know, effect wise is really, really interesting, because it you know, it allows you that option of doing a special, you know, disruption. A very special kind of disruption where your opponent is kind of forced to do, you know, to either play a supporter or not. If you lock their item, they are forced to play as supporters. If you lock their supporter, sometimes that's even better because they can't play a boss, they can't do Raihan, they can't do a lot of things. They can't draw cards, they can't play Marnie, they can't destroy your hand. So sometimes locking the supporter is actually much better. But they can still play item cards for Crobat or stuff like that. That's why we have Path to the Peak to lock them from using Greninja's ability, to lock them from using a lot of abilities. But, you know, they can still play stadium cards. So they may not be able to search for the stadium that easily with Level Ball for shady dealings if we lock their items. They may not be able to play research to dig out the stadium card if we lock their supporter. So that's why sometimes it's actually better to add 2 copies of the path in the deck. I initially started with 2 copies but eventually decided to add more balls because this deck needs a lot of balls for you to dig those evolutions out. If you don't have enough evolutions, you don't evolve fast enough, if you don't set up your bench, as you can see for this game, we don't have enough Pokemons on the bench to start, which is really, really bad. No Oddish, no Bidoof, nothing on the bench but a Snorlax, which is quite terrible. We're just going to discard the balls. I don't think we need the balls because they're playing a Clefairy deck. There's nothing that we need to target on the bench unless if they have like a lot of energy concentrated on one, like focus on one Clefairy, then we actually do need that boss back. So we have that one Pal Pad to recycle it if we, you know, at some point if we need it. So we're forced to pause the turn. They have a lot of energies now. Crazy Clefairy. Only 3 cards in their hand though. Let's hope they don't get their supporter card. They are playing a lot of energies, so I don't think they should be getting their research that easily. So they did boss to knock out the Snorlax. I have no idea why they did that, because they should be targeting our attackers. They should be knocking out our attackers, but they chose to knock out the draw support. I have no idea why, because that's you're ending your turn with Gourmandize as well. I don't think they should be targeting our Snorlax. It makes no sense. It literally makes no sense. We're just gonna Raihan onto the Snorlax and play our Twin Energy from the deck. Elegy Storm blocks them from using, so we have no Vileplume on the next turn, but it doesn't seem like they can do a knockout though. If we lock them from using items, it may actually help us, you know, deny them from getting their Rescue Carrier or Level Balls to bench another Clefairy. If they don't bench more Clefairies, I don't think they can knock out our active right now. So they got another 2 energies in the game with the ability and another one from their hand. I think that's actually enough though. If they have 8 energies in play, they actually get to kill off the Vileplume. So let's hope they don't have an energy in their hand. We flip the heads. That means they can't play a supporter card. They can't actually dig out the energy. And they did not attach an energy from their hand. We got an extra turn with Vileplume. An extra turn means a whole lot. We're going to play a Bruno this turn. We're just going to play Bruno for an Oddish. We need to bench an Oddish fast. So let's... Oh, we actually get to play Bibarel's ability first. So let's do the ability and then Ultra Ball for an Oddish, because we need it badly. Oh, we got... Why did we do that? We got Quick Ball, so let's just do Quick Ball. We're gonna dig out our Oddish and attach the energy onto the Snorlax. So we should be attaching onto the Oddish, but we need a Twin and a Rare Candy for the next turn, which is a lot. So I guess it's safer to play Snorlax. We got the Twin, but Rare Candy Evolution is a lot more difficult than you think, because we're only playing 3 copies of Rare Candy, and you know, it's quite difficult to get both the items at the same time, your Evolution and the Rare Candy. It's kind of virtually impossible if you're playing a Stage 2 deck. I don't know why. They love to cock block your Stage 2 Evolution, your Rare Candy Evolution. They just love doing that. And we got the Rare Candy though. We got Ultra Ball Rare Candy. Spoke too soon. It's actually pretty easy. So we're gonna attach a grass. We're trying to dig out a grass energy for us to attach onto Snorlax, because we want to be saving our Twin for Vileplume. We don't want to be wasting our Twin energies. I don't think we have a choice here because we played 2 Bibarels, and let's just attach the twin just in case we get no energies with Bruno. You never know what you're gonna get with Bruno. It may just screw you over and, you know, draw you 0 energies. Never take the chance. Like, every time I take the chance with this game, I just lose like crazy. I hate this game so much just because of that, because I'm a very unlucky person. I don't know why. I'm like a very, very unlucky person. So never rely on luck. Always rely on your wits. Because luck never works. Thumping Snore, and now they got no Clefairies on the bench. They can play Recycler and Rescue Carrier now though, but we did play our Path to the Peak, which is kind of denying them from doing Greninja. So Radiant Greninja has no ability unless if they do Training Court. And there we go, a Radiant Greninja. I didn't realize that Heavy Ball actually forces you to reveal it to your opponent. I don't think it says it on the text that you have to reveal the card that you draw from the prize. You're revealing to yourself, obviously, but I don't think you should be revealing it to your opponent. Mysterious Tail. I almost called it Mystery Tail. Mew. A Mew for air balloon switches. Interesting. If you're playing a Mew though, I guess you could do Scoop Up Net. But I don't think it works that well with Clefairy. Because if you're doing a switch on a Mew, it would be the same thing as doing, you know, 0 Mews and more switches with your Clefairy. Because if you're switching the Mew from the active, you're not actually playing the ability more times. You're not doing Moonlight, I forgot the ability, but you're not using Clefairy's ability more times. You're basically just, you know, thinning out the deck. Which kind of is speeding your game in a little bit, but I don't think it works that well. I prefer just doing Greninja, Wide-Ear, and Clefairy for my deck. I think Clefairy with Wide-Ear is the strongest, because if you're playing against V decks, you can actually kill off, well, a V-Star or even a V-Max quite easily with your Wide-Ear, because that gives you a lot of damage output. And they just conceded because we got 2 prize remaining, so we just need to Thumping Snore this turn and then, you know, play one more Elegy Storm for the win. Elegy Storm is going to help us collect the final prize, because they got no attackers but Clefairy. If they play Wide-Ear, they got not enough energies to do the knockout. Even, I don't think they have enough energies. If they do Wide-Ear though, we need a lot more damage to knock it out. So we have our boss, Escape Rope, we have our Pal Pad to recover the boss. I'm pretty sure we can get around that quite easily. So we got 2 level balls to start. No VIP pass. 0 VIPs for this game, because we finally decided to upgrade the deck. And VIP sucks. If you get it on the first turn, wow, great. If you don't, it's gonna be dead weight in the deck for the rest of the game. You're gonna have to deal with having 4 dead cards inside the deck, 4 VIPs, 4 unusable crap. And you kind of need 4 Ultra Balls to counter the 4 VIPs. If you don't play 4 Ultra Balls against the 4V, against the 4 passes, it's going to be a lot more difficult for you to draw cards with the Bibarel. Okay, now we're up against a Zoroark deck with Ticking Curse. We have the new promo card now, Zoroark promo. A really, really nice looking card. And there's gonna be an alternate art, secret rare, gold Zoroark. Well, there is already a gold one, but there's gonna be an alternate art gold for a lot of new cards in Crown Zenith. So Crown Zenith is a new set that's gonna get released on January, somewhere in January, and it's gonna feature new cards as well, but more of reprints, more on, you know, V-Star reprints, kind of like V-Star Universe. Well, it's actually from V-Star Universe, but in English, and you actually get to collect all your previous V-Star Pokemons by buying more Crown Zenith, kind of like VMAX Climax or your Shining Fates. Wait, is VMAX Climax Shining Fates? I forgot. I think so. I'm not too sure now. Oh no, VMAX Climax is Brilliant Stars. Shining Fates is another reprint, but there's not many VMAXs there, is there? Shining Fates is quite an old set. Escape Rope. So I'm pretty sure they have the double turbo. Oh, no double turbo though. So we get to survive with the Bidoof, and we got our Bibarel. So let's just evolve the Bibarel and draw something out. We're gonna play our capture for another Oddish. I don't quite like capture for a twin energy deck. If you're forced to play twin energy with an extra grass, I don't think you get to play a capture. But we are doing Raihan, so I think it justifies the capture. Just because we don't have enough cards to bench the basic. We need to bench a lot of basic Pokemons. We need at least 2 Oddish and 1 Bidoof. If we have more Bidoof, even better. But if we don't have a Bidoof with 2 Oddish in play, it would be quite bad, because they can quite easily do a boss, kill off your Oddish, and we got nothing to attack on the next turn. We have to start from scratch, re-bench 2 Oddish on the bench, and that would be quite terrible. That would waste an entire full turn, another turn, just because we can't evolve into the stage 2 on the next. We got the Rare Candy Ultra Ball, but they can quite easily do a Marnie. So Gourmandize is quite annoying just because Marnie is ever present. Marnie can just bitch up your hand. Anything can happen. This is the Pokemon TCG. Okay. Avery. Oh no. We're just gonna discard the one with damage counters. Bye-bye, Oddish. We got 4 copies, so we should be fine. So the final upgrade, we eventually decided to add more of the basic than the items. So we have 4 copies of Bidoof and Oddish now. Only 3 copies of the evolutions, 3 Bibarels and 3 Vileplume, 1 Gloom, and 3 Rare Candies. So the reason we're playing 4 of the basic is because we can actually get it out into our hand earlier, and we can force our opponent to draw more mulligans. If they draw more mulligans, we can actually draw extra cards early game. So that's actually that's much better than playing more items, more of your level balls and quick balls. We only have 3 level ball for the final version, and that actually works the best. 3 level balls and 3 quick balls with 1 capture and 3 ultra ball to get your basics as well. So that's not too bad. We got 4 Bidoof and 4 Oddish, just because we just need those 2 cards early game. If we have 1 Oddish, 1 Bidoof, sometimes it's enough if your opponent don't play a boss. Obviously, bench your second Oddish as fast as you can. Think about your next evolution. Always think about your next evolution while you're attacking with your first Vileplume. You don't have the luxury to you know, to wait an extra turn or to do something else. We got the twin energy for the Snorlax. So we have to attach a grass onto both the Vileplume on the bench. The Oddish has not yet evolved yet, but we got a grass right now. We just need to switch. If they knock out the Snorlax, it would be super... It would help us so much, but I think they're going to play a boss this turn. They're definitely going to do a boss because they got the ability to dig it out as well. They got Phantom Star to draw an extra 7 cards if they don't get a boss already. So pretty sure they have the boss in their hand, unless if they have way too many double turbos, if they have way too many special energy in their hand, they may not be able to play the Phantom Star. So we have only 3 switch cards, and if we don't get it, we can't actually attack with Vileplume after doing 𝘿𝙚𝙠. So that's the bad thing about Vileplume, is that if you do Snorlax, you may not be able to switch in time for you to play the attack fast. And if we can't play the attack fast, it kind of defeats the purpose of doing Elegy Storm at all, because if we can't pull off Elegy Storm on the second or even the third turn, it's basically, there's no point using that attack. Because by then your opponent has a lot of cards in their hand, they have a lot of ways to get their engine running. If they can't play items, they're gonna do their supporter. If they can't do supporter, they can do their items. So I don't think it's not gonna disrupt them a lot. It's not gonna stop them from, you know, attacking non-stop, unless if they have like a really shit hand. If you do it early, it's gonna stop them, it's gonna delay their game, and that's gonna do a lot more for you. That's why we want to be playing that attack as fast as we can. And this is the fastest that I can go. I'm sorry guys, but this is virtually the fastest that I can make Vileplume go, because it's crazy slow. It's basically impossible, honestly. So we just lost our first Vileplume without attacking. They did a boss. Unfortunately, we lost it. So now we have 2 more Vileplumes. We rotted 1. We can actually play a 3rd copy, but I don't think we have enough energies. We have not enough twin energy to satisfy the attack cost for our 3rd Vileplume, because we need the twin energy for our Snorlax as well, and the Farfetch'd. So if we play Raihan for Farfetch'd though, we don't need a twin. So we could quite possibly play another Vileplume. In addition to, if we have all 4 twin energies in the deck, we can actually do 1 Snorlax and 3 Vileplumes for this game. But right now, I think we should be playing our Snorlax, because we can actually knock out the active if we do... oh, we actually played Farfetch'd. So we need the Choice Belt, and we got the... Okay, we got a Farfetch'd on the bench. That means we're gonna do League Lash for the knockout this turn. And League Lash is helping us killing a V-Star with a 2nd Choice Belt. If you don't have a 2nd Choice Belt though, if you don't attach Choice Belt to both Pokemons, you can't actually kill the V-Star that easily, unless if they already have damage counters on it. That's why they're playing the damage pump. That's why they're doing damage pump on the Zoroark, to clean off the damage counters and transfer it to other Pokemons, because they don't actually need that much damage. They don't need that much damage counters on all of their Pokemons to do a knockout with Ticking Curse. So might as well just clean out the damage counters on the Zoroark. Okay, we're gonna Raihan onto the Snorlax and get a Rare Candy. Are we gonna play the Ultra Ball right now? I have no idea. What are we gonna discard? I guess we should be discarding the energy, because we got the rod. To cycle it back. I don't think we have that many energies in the discard pile either. No basic for sure. We only have 1 basic energy in the discard pile, I think. So we're gonna do Rare Candy this turn and then draw 4 cards. Well, I don't think we are drawing that many, because we are getting the prize card this turn as well. So Bibarel may not be able to draw on the next turn. I don't know. You never know what you're gonna get though. Let's hope we get items. We got another grass. And a Scoop Up Net, okay. Zoroark. No Gengar though. I haven't seen a Gengar yet. They have Darkness Energy and Psychic. So that means they're playing Gengar. There we go. They're playing Gengar and possibly Crobat to attack as well. So Crobat to do 140 damage plus 10 plus 1 damage counter for the poison against Psychic Pokemons and Ghost types. But they should be playing Aurora Energy though. If they do Aurora, they can actually discard Gengar a lot easier, and also satisfy the attack cost for both Gengar or Crobat, because Gengar actually can do a knockout against Miltank. Well, not a one-hit knockout, but Gengar is essential. If you don't play Gengar to kill the Miltank, you can't actually get past the Miltank. So Zoroark has no other attackers but the Gengar. That means they have to rely on that Pokemon to attack. If they don't use Gengar, they cannot get through Miracle Body. We're gonna play the Quick Ball to discard the Snorlax. There we go. That's why Scoop Up Net is so useful, because it helps you free up a bench spot, especially with Quick Ball as well. We get to bench another Oddish. And now we're gonna do our Rod to shuffle back 2 Pokemons. We should be shuffling back the energy as well, but oh well. I think we're preparing for the Raihan. So I don't think we have any more energies in the deck if we shuffle it back, because we have only 1 copy of the basic. We priced 1 and we just drew it right now. On the last turn, my bad. So we're just gonna draw first and decide what Pokemon to attach to later. We may just attach the twin to the Vileplume, just to decoy, just to bait them to knock out the Vileplume. I don't know what to attach to right now. We should really be attaching to the Snorlax, because Marnie can still destroy us. We have Bibarel, but if they play Marnie though, and if we draw too many cards to Bibarel, we may actually deck ourselves out. So make sure you're aware of that. We have 3 cards left in the deck. Make sure you don't deck yourself out. And Snorlax is going to sleep. That means if you can't switch, if you don't have any more switch cards in the deck, going to sleep, they can actually trap you in the active, and then, you know, force you to lose turns with your Thumping Snore. If you go to sleep every single turn, if you can't wake up, then you're gonna deck yourself out eventually. So we have 6 coin flips for Snorlax to wake up. But I don't think we can wait that long though, because we need 2 more knockouts to win the game. If we don't kill 2 more V Pokemons, we can't win. So we need to play a boss to kill one of the Zoroark, and then target the second one as well. If we kill the Crobat, they're probably going to attack with the third copy of the Zoroark V-Star. So they have the 2 more Zoroarks on the bench, and that means if we kill the Crobat, they're probably going to use the other one, the full HP one. Well, it has 2 damage counters on it, but you get what I mean. We woke up. So Snorlax woke up, and I think we have a Pal Pad in the deck still. I'm not sure what we have. I'm pretty sure we have a Pal Pad. So if we do the Pal Pad right now, we can actually shuffle back the boss, and then draw it back out to play the boss, and then on the next turn Marnie to save our hand. Because if we do a boss, we're drawing 2 extra cards from the prize, and that means Marnie is going to help us buy extra few turns by drawing cards from the prize. So we should really be playing the Heavy Ball. We should really be... Oh no, we shouldn't be doing that, because we want to be drawing out the Pal Pad, right? If we don't draw the Pal Pad, we can't play the boss this turn. But if we draw the Pal Pad, there's no guarantee though. There's still no guarantee if we're gonna do the boss, because we can't draw both cards out. If we draw out both the boss and the Marnie, then we have no cards left on the next turn. We're gonna deck out. If they play a Marnie, we're still fine because we have 4 cards in our hand, plus the extra prizes that we draw. We should be bossing the other Zoroark, right? The one with the high HP. But just because we need cards in our hand, I think we actually bossed the first one. So we decided to go for the Pal Pad and boss this turn. If we do it now though, it may actually screw us over. So it's a very risky play right now. Bibarel is quite terrible because it decks you out. And if you play Snorlax without enough switch cards, it's quite terrible as well. So what we should have done is we should have played our Pal Pad a lot earlier. That actually helps us, you know, get our Raihan and boss into the deck. And we may actually be able to play boss without digging for the Pal Pad that badly. So now we have one card left in the deck, which is horrible. If we target the second Zoroark, they may play a Volo, you never know. Or they may just, you know, evolve both the Zoroark. If they evolve both the Zoroark, they can actually kill for 2 prizes. And then we don't have enough energies to attack after that. So it's actually a really, really bad situation that we're in right now. Because we are critical in terms of energy. We have no Raihan, only 1 Twin and 1 Grass. That means we can only choose to attack with Vileplume or Farfetch'd. And those two, we need both those Pokemon. We need both attackers to knock out a V Pokemon. For the final 2 prize, we need both attackers. So if we don't play a Raihan, we can't actually win. And if we play a Raihan though, we're going to deck out because it forces you to draw. It forces you to search and, you know, get a card from the deck. If you don't search, if you don't get a card from the deck, you can't play a Raihan. Well, you can still play a Raihan obviously, but it forces you to draw something. Okay, they played a Marnie. It may actually be better for us. If they evolve this turn, it's going to be real bad. It's going to be so bad. We have no Crushing Hammer though. If we play a Crushing Hammer, we can actually win against Zoroark much easier. Temple of Sinnoh, Crushing Hammer, but we can't play Temple of Sinnoh because we have special energies for Vileplume as well. Twin energy, if you do twin for your stage 2 deck, you are not allowed to play Temple of Sinnoh. They have a Noivern, which is pretty interesting. Noivern for the spread. Because they are doing Gapejaw to add damage counters on your opponent's side as well. So Gapejaw with Noivern, a very interesting combo. That means they don't need that much damage with Zoroark. They can actually play less Choice Belt and do the Noivern early game. And then Ticking Curse to collect the knockout fast after that. But if your opponent don't bench their Pokemons though, if they bench it late, if they bench their Entei's late, if they do their Suicunes late, then you have no damage counters on those Pokemons, especially if they play their Stadium as well. That means you have no damage counters on them. And if they evolve after that as well, if they bench like Ice Rider after doing the, you know, training court and then evolving to the VMAX, you're gonna need your Choice Belt. You're gonna need your 𝘿𝙚𝙬. If you don't play those cards, you can't actually powerful energy as well. You cannot actually knock out the VMAX with 1 hit. So I don't think this strategy works that well. It's an interesting alternate play though. I'm all up for alternate plays and rogue decks, but I don't think it's that powerful compared to the meta. We woke up again. Look at that. That was really lucky. That was really lucky. We got an Escape Rope though, so we should be fine even if we go to sleep. So I think they got really pissed with us waking up and they're trying to get past the Snorlax by doing a boss. They actually did a boss this turn. I'm quite surprised. Because we have 1 prize left and they were like really scared of us doing a boss. I don't think we can kill anything though on the bench. Because Vileplume is only doing 90 damage. And we have nothing but Vileplume and Farfetch'd. We have only 2 cards left in the deck. I think they're trying to trap us. They're trying to stall by trapping us in the active. They think that maybe we have no more switch cards. And we have only 2 cards in the deck. Why not just do a boss to win the game? But they should be knocking out the Snorlax. They did not realize how powerful that Pokemon is. Because Escape Rope is going to give us the win right here. Escape Rope means we don't have to deal with the V-Star. And any Pokemon that we hit on the bench is gonna be enough for us to collect the final prize. 180 is enough to kill anything, even the Noivern, because they got no Cape of Toughness. And we even have a Marnie for the next turn to save our hand. So there we go, we got a Choice Belt as well to deal with the Noivern if they attach a Cape of Toughness. I don't think it's enough though, because they got 200 base HP, 250, so 210 with Thumping Snore plus the 2 damage counter from Gapejaw is still not enough. So right now we're up against a Giratina V-Star. So I think I'm just gonna end the voice right here. Hope you guys enjoyed this new combo. I'm gonna go forth and build a Silver Tempest deck so that I can post it early. And I'll leave you guys to enjoy this game. It's versus Giratina V-Star with Cramorant, and it's a very new Lost, the new Lost deck with Colress as well. So hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Have a great day, and bye for now, lovely people. Enjoy your life.
Ball.